So, Mrs Harvey, we've got some questions that the children wrote for you yesterday. So I'm just going to read them out, if that's okay.
Yeah.
If you can try and answer the ones the best you can. So what are your hobbies?
Obviously running. I like running and all sorts of sport. I also like reading and writing poetry.
Oh, fantastic. How long do you run for, was one of the questions that the children wanted to know.
Different times. I run about 4 or 5 times a week, and sometimes my longest run would probably be 10 to 12 miles, at least once a week, really.
Goodness me, and how long would that take you to do?
Seeing how tired I am on that day, really. Different times.
Roughly how long would it take to do 10? Because I don't know, you see, because I've only driven that far.
About an hour and 20.
About an hour and 20, right, okay.
Yeah, there, nice slow run.
Okay, that's slow run, okay. How have you won any medals or anything like that? Or?
I have won a lot of medals
have
and
you?
trophies, actually. I couldn't think how many, for lots of different things. Not just running, loads of sports, and I've even got a 10-pin bowling trophy.
Have
I've
you?
got a trophy. I used to bowl in a team, 10-pin bowling.
Oh,
so
really? Like as a
I've got
competition?
lots of different medals.
Was that when you were a child, or was that when you were
as an adult?
As an adult,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
I've got some medals for netball and cross country from a child. Yeah, yeah.
Who inspired you, or did someone inspire you to be sporty, and how did they inspire you?
Yeah, I was always sporty, but Michael Johnson is my favourite sports person.
Oh, right, fab.
Inspiration, yeah.
So was it him that made you get into sports, or was it something else, do you think?
No. I grew up in Wales, and I lived behind a rugby pitch, and I used to go out and run on the rugby pitch when I was about 5 or 6, and then I started trying to do more laps each week, and I just used to run on my own, so that's how I got into it, really.
Oh, right.
I enjoyed trying to get the challenge of doing an extra lap each week. I was a bit like the Pied Piper when I was growing up, because some adults and kids used to come and join in and then give up, and different people used to come and join, but I carried on doing it, and that's how I got into running.
How young were you when you did?
About 6.
About 6?
5 or 6, yeah.
Wow, okay. What did you do before you were teaching children? What did you do before?
I was in the Air Force.
You're in the Air Force?
Yeah.
Right, can you tell us a bit more about that?
I was in the Air Force for 14 years. I did lots of different jobs, lots of sports, lots of different types of sports. I lived in Germany for 3 years. I lived in Cyprus, Gibraltar for 3 years. I did lots of water sports and climbed mountains. I've done lots of mountain walking, skiing, squash, netball, hockey, all sorts of stuff.
You did that while you were in the Air Force?
Yeah, lots of it. I lived in Cornwall for 4 years, even had to go at surfing.
Oh, wow, so you lived all over the place?
Yeah.
What was your favourite place, do you think, you lived in?
Oh, I couldn't choose.
You couldn't
Everyone.
Really?
Yeah,
so
everyone was a different experience.
So that was a time of your life that you really enjoyed?
Yeah, it was brilliant, yeah.
Fab. How old were you when you started doing sport? Well, you've said that you were 6, didn't you, when you started running? And that was running the thing that you did first, do you think?
Yeah, and then when I went to school, it was running and netball, really. I did netball I lived in Wales. I did like county netball and county running, and then I did the Welsh schools netball as well. So those were my 2 sort of main sports growing up until I joined the Air Force, and then obviously I did lots of other ones.
Right. So my next question is doesn't quite link in, but what was your most frightening moment? Have you got a moment that you have?
Yes,
oh, that's good.
I have. When I did a parachute jump.
You did a parachute jump?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It was really scary. I was really nervous. I couldn't eat for 2 days.
Beforehand?
No, I was too nervous. But I did it.
How did you feel when you were doing it? Or?
The worst part, the most scary part, is waiting in the plane as you're moving up. Each person's going out,
right.
And you thinking it's me next.
Yeah.
But when you actually jump out and do it, it was brilliant. And so I did another one then after that.
Oh, so you've done 2?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So 2. Would you say that was your most memorable achievement, or?
No, I couldn't pick one achievement really. I think everything I've done I've been happy with. Yeah, I wouldn't pick one thing that stood out.
Okay. Why did you choose to be a TA then? How did you get into that?
Because I came to school, my children attended this school, and I'd come out of the Air Force, had 2 children, and I came in and helped out really, and started helping out and really enjoyed it. And I'd always worked with children in groups when I was in the Air Force. I used to help out with sports stuff. And
right.
So it just was a progression more than anything, and I really enjoyed it.
Which was your favourite job, or what do you think your favourite jobs were, and why was it?
My favourite job was when I was in Cornwall in St Morgan. That was my RAF jobs.
Yeah.
I worked with the air crew that did the survival training, and we travelled all over the world. And Even I did the administration.
Right.
Actually, I was allowed to do all the courses.
Were you?
Yeah. So I did a lot of different stuff.
So what sort of stuff did you have to do then?
I did a survival course in Austria in the snow.
Did you?
We had to go out for 5 days. We had no food, no backpacks, and we were hunted by the SAS.
No food or backpacks?
No, we had a backpack.
Yeah.
Just a little bivvy thing, and we had to travel by night and try and escape all these SAS people trying to hunt us down. And then in the day we had to find somewhere and sleep in the day, and it was really good, really, really. And we had little tablets. We used to have to collect the water from the streams and put the tablets in, and that's how we drank the water.
Oh, to clean the water?
The purifying tablets. And yeah, and I lost 10 pounds in 5 days. I didn't eat.
I bet you did.
Yeah, and that was really good. I enjoyed that. And I did lots of courses. That's where I did all the parachuting, jumping in. We did winter survival, summer courses.
Never realised you did so many sporty things, goodness.
Yeah, and jungle courses. We went and did jungle courses and everything.
Where did you do the jungle courses then? Was
down in, I can't remember the name of the place now. In Bavaria.
Really?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Moving on a bit then. So what do you think of your own personality, and what do you think others think of you? So if your people had to describe you, what do you think they'd say?
Chatty.
Chatty.
First one. It's a fair one. A positive person as well, and I'm a happy person. That's what I think. I'd imagine other people. And I'm fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fair person as well.
What school did you go to when you were little? Did you go to lots of schools? Or?
No, I only went to 2 schools.
Yeah.
My primary school was called Greenhill Primary.
Yeah.
And then I went to an all-girls school called Lewis Girls.
What was that like, going to an all-girls school?
I enjoyed it. Really.
Yeah.
It was very, very strict.
Yeah. How was it strict? What sort of things?
Uniform and time and
I see.
everything, really. Yeah, classes. Yeah, it was a strict school. But I really enjoyed it.
We've got a couple of questions about what's your birth date and where were you born?
My birthday's in 2 weeks. 10th of March.
10th of March.
Yeah, 21.
21.
And,
we won't ask you the year then.
I don't mind.
Oh, could you tell us?
1969.
1969,
yeah,
okay.
So I'll be 44. And I was born in Caerphilly in Wales, South Wales.
Have you got any siblings?
I've got 3 brothers.
3 brothers.
All younger. I'm the eldest.
All right. So what's that like then, having 3 brothers? And you're the
yeah. We're really close, and I keep in touch with them all. They're all. My youngest brother is 29, so he's just had a baby, so that's really nice. And I try to visit them back as often as I can.
Are they living in Wales?
They all still live in Wales.
Oh, right, so you're the
They've
only...
never travelled and been anywhere, so...
Oh, right, so you're the adventurous one who's gone out.
Definitely,
You've gone away and done things like that. Okay, what's your family like, and who do you think... how do you think they would describe you?
Chatty.
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah, they probably would describe me as that, really. All the stuff I said before, the chatty, confident and organiser, the leader of the family, probably. They'd say
okay.
I'm the one that sorts them all out and keeps them all together.
Fab. Do you have any specific memories from your childhood?
Not anything specific. I just grew up in the countryside, and I just remember... in the fields, we played in the fields and walked around and made camps and tents, because I actually backed on to the fields, and there was a farm nearby, and I remember when I was little, we'd wake up in the morning, the cows would have escaped and were in the garden, and
oh, really?
It was like that. Lots of smells of countryside.
Yeah.
That's what I can remember. But it was a very happy childhood, and yeah, just really nice in the countryside and growing up.
That's brilliant. I mean, the children might come up with some more questions after this, if that's okay, if we can ask them.
Fine,
but the last question was, did you have a childhood dream? Or it's something that you wanted to do when you were a child, or?
No, not really. I never. I sort of at one stage I wanted to be a PE teacher. That didn't work out through some circumstances, and then I joined the Air Force, and so I think in some ways I've enjoyed everything I've done, really, and not done exactly what I wanted to, but perhaps done better. Yeah. In a lot of ways, yeah. So no, I didn't have one specific thing, but. Yeah, I think everything I've done I've been happy with.
That's brilliant. Thanks very much for your time, Mrs Harvey.